I have great fond memories of Dublin. The life there was good, but there was always a yearning. The wanderlust bit, myself and my friend Laura, it was always there at the back of our minds. Came a time when we said, yeah, let's go and let's see if we can, travel. It was just something inside. You're still young, you want to see more of life, even though you had lots of friends you'd be leaving behind. You knew that one day you'd probably come back. Jersey was a place we thought we might get to, myself and my friend. But we ended up in London. Just go with the flow, and we were young and carefree, no fellas, no boyfriends. Ended up in Kilburn, where my cousin Josie was, and they had a flat in Kilburn and they had a spare room. And so Laura and I stayed there till we found a little flat of our own. You could get a job one day, leave that job, get another job the next day if you wanted to. And that was 1969. You didn't want to be settled. You wanted to have a bit of freedom before you met anybody or settled down or whatever. It was only an adventure to us, really, to go away from home and see a little bit more of life in another city. This is the Cock Public House. It's not anymore. This is where I met my future husband, Harry. A lot of Cavan people that used to frequent this pub. Josie, my cousin, her husband was from Cavan. Laura and I came in here for the first time, and we were the star attraction at the time. Two girls from Dublin. It was nice to be part of the community and to represent your Irishness. Be proud of your Irishness as well. This is the church where we used to go to when we lived in Kilburn. Big Irish community. The masses, it was 13 masses here, and they were packed every Sunday. And outside they used to sell the papers for every county in Ireland. Goes to show how many counties of Ireland lived in Kilburn at the time. You'd have to mix, and you felt as if you could sort of integrate into different aspects that were happening at the time. It was nice to be part of that community and felt you belonged in another country. Yeah, there was great community spirit because you'd see people you knew, have a little chat and talk about whatever was going on in Ireland. Very quiet today. Walking down the road here and find our flat where we used to live, 1971. No, this is it here. 74. 68 was our one, Harry, wasn't it? Yeah, number 68. Sorry, they're doing work up there. Yeah.
I am in 68.
Yeah, I know, yeah. We used to live there many years ago.
All right.
Yeah, we're just going down memory lane. The community spirit was brilliant. We had people looked out for you. They were friendly. Go out onto the street, especially when I'd bring Lisa out for a walk, and you'd have people coming over and having a look at Lisa in the pram. And we brought her back to number 68, and Josie in number 74, she had a lovely, she knew I loved macaroni cheese, and she had a big dish of macaroni cheese for me when I came out of hospital. And it was Eileen and Dave, they lent us their Mini to pick me up from the hospital with Lisa. There was neighbours from every angle. They'd just come out, and when they'd be walking to the shops or whatever, you'd be walking with them, and just a friendly place to live. Hi, we used to live here. We lived here in this street. Yeah, many moons ago. Oh, well, I'm talking about 50 years ago. Yeah.
This was a big Irish community.
It was, yeah, and that's what we're saying.
County Kilburn,
They did.
Yeah.
There was a lot of unrest at the time. I came sort of naively from Dublin, not having any riots in Dublin or anything like that, but I knew they were going on in London. It was then that you felt as if having an Irish accent wasn't the best accent to have. They judged you for, just because you spoke in a certain way, that you were part of an organisation that you had nothing to do with. It was around 1976 when my husband was stopped. He was working. The police stopped him. They wanted to see all his paperwork. He had everything in order, but they weren't satisfied with that, so they more or less arrested him, and he was told that he was questioned about being in the IRA. He was kept in overnight, stripped down to his underpants, and told he'd be going before the court the next morning. He wasn't home that evening, so when I seen a police officer at the door, of course, my heart sank and my face drained, and I thought he was after having an accident. They wouldn't tell me what was wrong. Of course, couldn't sleep that night. And he never got an apology. His fingerprints were taken. So that was the first time that it just reminded me of what was happening in the north of Ireland and how people are being mistakenly identified as terrorists. I think it did dominate some of the conversations you had. You would hear about the Troubles, and you'd sympathise with them in Northern Ireland, both Protestant and Catholic, because they all wanted to live, most of them wanted to live a peaceful life up there. I think I was a follower of fashion. I remember being in the 6th class, and that was in the junior school, and I used to think I was the bee's knees, and I used to wear my trench coat very tightly belted, and I used to wear a chiffon scarf on my head. My teacher used to say to me, "Who do you think you are?" As a teenager, yeah, I loved fashion. I made my own clothes, a lot of them. Got Mary Quant patterns. You felt as if you could put your hand to anything, really, making wise, and I did make a lot of stuff in those days. Decided to make my own wedding dress. Was getting married in the September of 1970. Went around looking at dresses. They were lovely, some of them were very expensive. So I thought, well, I can do this. I can make a wedding dress. I made my wedding dress. I made my bridesmaids. Biba was an amazing shop. The clothes were brilliant. The clothes were so nice. It was all about what you wore, your identity, how you felt in the clothes. We probably all looked ridiculous, but But it was the sign of the times, really. You went along with the fashion, and you never felt out of place. Very bright and crazy designs on some of the stuff, but I mean, they were all fashionable, so you just wore what you thought would suit you. It felt unique. Yeah, this is Perring House now, and this is where we moved in about, probably towards the end of 1971. We were in for the Christmas. Very comfortable as a family, really comfortable. This was the most comfortable place we had. We stayed here for 4 years till 1976. The only drawback was there was no place for, when you had small children, or a baby at that time, to let them out or have any space outdoors. Definitely the green spaces were a godsend. Queen's Park was a lovely park, so just to walk up there in the morning and just fresh air, felt as if you were not in London. In its day, they were nice flats and it was safe and secure and all of that. But just that feeling of such an enclosed space, it was a bit of an ordeal. Yeah, I was ready for parenthood. Felt as if, I was mature enough. Because I suppose my parents were away from distance, I knew I wouldn't have the same support as what I thought I would have. I could cope, but the distance, not being able to have them around the corner, so to speak, there was a little bit of pressure. You just got on with it because you knew you were in a different country. You just couldn't call around to them when you felt a little bit down or lonely. The jobs were really good because that got me out of the flat, and I was able to mix with other people as well. So you weren't constantly alone. The distance wasn't that far away, but it still was a big distance to how you felt at the time. That wanderlust I had, you just had to forget about that now. You got responsibility, you got a little girl. I had settled down, really. It's exciting still in London. I was happy. I could still be myself, and even as a mother. You must listen to that. I wouldn't recognise Kilburn now because there's hardly any Irish here for a start. It's multicultural, it's so built up. It did cater for the Irish people. Nowadays, walking down the high street today, I can see it caters for all the migration groups of people that have come to London, and it's sort of a melting pot. Britain became my adopted country, but it's not my country. I still have a yearning, still feel my love for Ireland. We are so grateful because England has given us jobs, security, a home, and I have my children. I feel as if, England has given us a good life. But I still feel as if my heart is in Ireland.
Beautiful. That's getting all the awards.
Just like way back in the day. How magnificently we will fold into the mess